How you doing, YouTube? Matt with the Massive Beer Reviews, back with yet another review. A little bit of collab time. Interesting collab time. Two local, well, I should say now, not so local, but semi-local to me. Boys making good in the form of Breaker Brewing out of Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, and the North Brewing out of Binghamton, New York. It is their I'm Your Ice Cream Man. This is, as Zach from the North would like to put it, a pastry IPA. You've seen me do a bunch of beers from Breaker from the North. I lived in Scranton. It was not splitting difference, but relatively close to splitting difference between two breweries that are kind of where my local beers. I'm living down in Jersey now. Not that local, but I still get some of their beers. So I'm super excited to give it a whirl. This one actually comes courtesy of Tony. Thank you very much. I went to a share this weekend and he just kind of plopped it on me. So thank you very much, brother. As far as what it says on here, it says, I'm Your Ice Cream Man. It's a 420 release. Thank you very much. A 7.2% ABV guaranteed to satisfy IPA brewed with marshmallow fluff and sugar cones and conditioned on cherries and milk sugar. Whole bunch of shit going on. Otherwise, it's okay. You know, it's 8-bit art, but the label's kind of, I don't know, something missing. You know, I don't know, something about it. I like it. I like the attempt at the 90s video game humor, but yeah, it's more like early 90s, late 80s. But anyway, give this a whirl. Now, you're talking about a lot of stuff going on in this beer. You're talking about it being an IPA, but you're talking about a lot of those kind of bits and pieces that you see in stouts, hence the pastry IPA form of things. You're talking about marshmallow fluff. It's been done before in beer. Sugar cones. Probably been done before beer. Conditioned on cherry has been done before, and milk sugar has been done ad nauseum. So we'll see how she plays. Pinky finger of just off weight head with just a touch of kind of like a soft, kind of almost like cherry redness to it. So you can see a little bit of that cherry coming through. And the body itself just looks quintessential kind of new school IPA. Soft haziness, orange, bit of kind of cataractiness to it. So yeah, she looks the part. See what she smells like. I'm really just getting two things. And those two things is a kind of confectionery sweetness. That's your kind of milk sugar at play. That's your marshmallow at play. That's maybe even a little bit of your sugar coniness at play. Then a soft, kind of almost like just grass clipping kind of greeniness from the hops. Yeah, so there is a bitterness, and there's that tomato stocky grass clipping greeniness to it, and then you just get that big wafting of that confectionery style kind of marshmallow, milk sugar, coney kind of thing going on. Very sweet in the nose with a bit of bittering in there, but they're both very kind of, while the greeniness is more of kind of an awesome kind of hop forwardness, the sweetness is very in your face, to the point where there's not much beer to be found. There's hops, and then there's confectionery sugar. Not much beer in there so far. Let's see what the taste has. Cheers. Yeah, kind of follows suit in the taste. You're actually getting this slightly kind of Grammy nutty kind of crackery malt. I think it's actually coming more from the cone than the malt from the beer. It has this graham crackery vibe to it. You're definitely getting that vanilla. You're definitely getting that marshmallow. You're getting that milk sugar marshmallow mixture that's coming off very sweet, and it's lingering. It's sticking to your tongue. There's that big bittering. Like I said, it's kind of just tomato stocky to a T. It's floating back in the back, and it adds a bit of balance to the sweetness. But that's pretty much it. It's very sweet. It's very sweet. Not for me. It reminds me a little bit of like a Carvel ice cream cake. The way you get that kind of bit of that kind of vanilla from the cake, but then you get a little bit of that kind of gritty, kind of crumbly center part of it, and that's your kind of nutty coniness. And then you have that bittering component. It just seems kind of out of place. Now, I understand that bitterness is there just for beer's sake and for balance sake, but that's the problem with this beer. It's a problem with some of these kind of beers that kind of go crazy. The beer is totally not there. It's just not, it's not beer. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I'm sure some people go gaga for this over-the-top kind of, lactose-laden kind of pastry, whether it be IPA, stout, or whatever. But with how big roasted malts are, and that bitter and astringency you get from roasted malts, for me, that pastry thing plays so much better on the stout end of things than it ever will. In the hop kind of things. Now, I like me some lactose IPAs. I do get down with them. They kind of do me proper when done proper. But it's more of you have to have a deft touch with it, and you have to be a bit more kind of just gentle with those flavors and kind of add them as kind of accents to kind of slightly prop up the beers. Where this one just seems like it's just a little bit too much fluff. Marshmallow fluff, I guess you say. And that's honestly, it was like the last time I had one of the vanilla forward beers from Breaker. That vanilla was much, much too big for me. So yeah, it's a fun beer in a kind of kitschy, kind of kooky, kind of shticky kind of way. But kind of omit the beer part. That's where it kind of gets lost for me. Yeah. Sweetness from 5 different directions. Waffle cone, the malts, but malts come out just candied sweet. Sweetness from the lactose, sweetness from the marshmallow. The cherry portion of the show, I guess, get a little maraschino vibe in there, maybe if you dig really deep. But it's really just tons and tons of layers of vanilla on top of a little bit of tomato stocky bitterness. And then not much else. It's hard to really dig through it and get through there. So it's kind of a bummer. Because I was kind of interested in it. I was kind of like, okay, man, this is going to come off kind of cool. And it just kind of falls a little bit too on the sweet side for me to kind of really get a little bit too hot and bothered over it. Anyway, so let's talk about it. Is it one of the better lactose IPAs? Because that's what it is that I've had. It's like, no. Just too one-sided, one direction when it comes to what it's doing as far as the sweetness and all that stuff. So it's kind of a bummer, but such is life. Value availability, I think it was like, $18 or whatever, $19 a 4-pack kind of going rate for these kind of kooky madooky kind of showy, kind of flashy kind of IPAs. Kitschy, what's the word I'm looking for? Sticky, I don't know what you want to say. Kind of God, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know, but you know what I'm getting at. One of the ones that are kind of a bit more kind of fun, experimental, kind of kooky ones. Value availability, or I said value already. Availability, brewery only at both breweries, but I think it was last week, so it's gone already. And at this point, if you like what, will you like this? If you like the super lactose-laden IPAs and you just love that sugar component, because that's really all you're going to get there. Sure, you get a little bit of tomato stocky bitterness, but it's much, 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 much lower than the sweetness. So you really have to have a really big sweet tooth and not really get down with that kind of balance that the roasted malts of a big, huge, burly stout kind of play, and just want that kind of big sweetness. If you like chugging maple syrup, kind of thing, a Super Troopers level, just kind of your sweet tooth at heart, but you want it in some kind of loosely veiled beer form, worth picking up. There you go. Down there, if you want to talk about it, Massive Beers, type that in the Google. You can find me doing social media stuff. Beer Massive, type that in the Google. Find me doing podcasting stuff, and hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully you're enjoying a little lactose IPA right now, and hope we'll see you next time. Cheers.